Welcome back to another episode of the Natty Teacher. I'm your host. Who else, of course, but the Natty Teacher. I'll tell you, I'm feeling full as a gosh dang house during this rest week. It's Wednesday, so we got a couple more days. We got 3 more days of rest before we jump back into this off season. I'm super excited. It's just itching to get back in the gym, man. It is an itch that I cannot scratch, or at least that I promised I would not scratch for a couple more days. But I wanted to make this video. We did my top protein sources for muscle growth yesterday. Uploaded that. So if you haven't seen that one, check it out. Today, it is going to be the top carbohydrate sources for muscle growth, energy, fuel, all that. None of these are in particular order. You can absolutely swap these out. These are just some base carbs that I would assume the majority of both natural and enhanced bodybuilders are utilizing in their diet plans from what I used, just based on what I use myself and also what I've seen in other people's diet plans. So here we go. First one, without a shadow of a doubt, white rice. I would prefer both jasmine and or basmati rice, those oriental type rices like that. Very easy to make. You can make them in large quantities. You can eat them you can eat a lot of them. They essentially are just nothing but calories and carbs, man. They're very, and then the con of rice, at least white rice, is it's not very nutrient dense. But if you're looking for quick, easily assimilated or digested carbs, man, some good old white rice in small or large amounts, it's going to give you the fuel you need. So white rice, that's the first one for sure. After that, oats. Again, this is not in a particular order, so don't rip on the order. This is not like 1 through 5, the best ones. It's just 5 I picked out to be specific. Oats, oatmeal. You can blend them. You can make it into oatmeal. I used to blend mine, but now I have actually just started cooking my oatmeal in the microwave and mixing some whey isolate and some blueberries into that. I do like a scoop of like chocolate whey isolate with a cup of oats in my off season, and 50 grams of blueberries, the wild blueberries too, the little ones. They're really good. And then I have like a cup of spinach on the side. You can make a ton of it. Like it's literally, I have it in like a big bowl, so it feels like you're eating a lot. You just can kind of manipulate it based on the amount of water you mix in. So it's great for prepping. It's great for off season. It is pretty satiating, but I've noticed that whenever I eat oats, I get kind of that initial fullness, and then very quickly I can feel my body like churning through it after like 15, 20, 30 minutes of having it, to kind of slowly digest. All of a sudden my body's just like, just running through it. So great to have post workout throughout the day, what have you. Next up, cream of rice. Cream of rice, if you're unfamiliar, you've probably seen a little orange box, a little cream of rice. Cream of rice is literally just essentially like emulsified rice, just crushed rice. That's it. It is just rice powder, for a lack of better terms, but I'll tell you, it is super versatile. You can mix in like savory things. Because it's so broken down, like for me in my off season, when I have to work out after one meal, I want that one meal to include a pretty hefty amount of cream of rice, because like, let's say I got to work out early in the morning, like, which I know for a fact, like next week, for example, on Monday, I'll be training early in the morning, like probably 6 a.m., 6:15. So I need to have a meal before that. And so like for me, cream of rice is ideal because, again, it's like rice already digests super fast. So then crushed up rice, it's within minutes. It feels like it's just like, boom, all right, I got that just spike of energy ready to rock and roll. So it's a great pre-workout or post-workout. It's versatile, but I prefer to have cream of rice pre-workout for sure. But that's another awesome option. Like I said, you can mix it with anything. Like for me, I mix mine with just half a scoop of protein because with protein powder, I don't like to go over a scoop and half a day. So literally half a scoop of protein, and I'll put some almond butter and honey on that. It's phenomenal. I had it on prep minus the honey. I did not have honey on it, but I eat cream rice on prep. I'll eat it in my off season, obviously in a little bit of a higher amount. It's phenomenal. It tastes so good. I look forward to it literally without fail every single morning. It is delicious. Okay, fourth one, potatoes. Now, potato flew around the room before you came. Potatoes, man, I'll tell you what, they are awesome. You can have sweet potatoes, you can have yellow potatoes, you can have russet potatoes, you can have essentially most potatoes. Now, I'm not telling you to go out there and go get McDonald's hash browns or nothing like that, but some good old baked potatoes, man, with or without the skin, depending on how easily it digests. It is a win-win, man. They're pretty high glycemic carbohydrates, which means that they're going to assimilate and digest pretty quickly. For me right now, I have yellow potatoes in my diet. So yellow potatoes, I have them with my last meal. I have like ground turkey potatoes. So I literally, mentally, in both the off season and in prep, get to have a burger and fries, or multiple burgers and fries for dinner every single night. It's awesome. So I get to indulge in some nice, ground turkey burgers, which go down in a matter of seconds, it seems, or, especially like 93.7 like I have right now. And then also I literally get to have some baked fries. I will tell you, I've found, and it's easy, it's super simple. Get yourself some parchment paper, chop up your potatoes into whatever size, thickness, thinness fries you want. Give them a rinse once they're chopped up, wash some of those starches out, and literally just lay them out on parchment. You don't even have to have spray. Don't even have to have added fats. I had burgers and fries every single night of prep, obviously in smaller amounts than I am in the off season, and with different leanness for the ground turkey. But it's awesome. It's awesome. It's delicious. Potatoes are great. Again, sweet potatoes, yellow potatoes, whatever you prefer, whatever digests well. That's the big one. Awesome source of carbs. And last but surely not least, and this one I feel like is the most overlooked in the bodybuilding community. This could be slightly controversial, but it needs to be said. It needs to be said. You can put this number one. Your fruits and vegetables, man. Your fruits and vegetables. Guys, please. Your doctor and your parents, they weren't lying to you when you were a little kid. And you gotta if you want to have your dessert, you gotta eat your asparagus or your broccoli first. If you want to be healthy, you gotta have an apple a day. All this. Okay, well, there's some logic behind that, man. Fruits and vegetables are so micronutrient dense. Every bodybuilder on the planet knows the word macro. That's your carbs, that's your protein, that's your fats. Okay? Fruits and vegetables, they have those depending on what kind of fruits and vegetables you're eating. You can track that, of course. But here's another thing that they have that a lot of like poultry and dairy and different things like that, a lot of the other macronutrient dense foods that we have don't have. Okay, and that is those micronutrients. Okay, those micronutrients, those vitamins, those minerals that your body like thrives off of. Okay, when your body, I will tell you this right now, and this is a proven fact. I don't have a research study here. I'm going to link one right here. I'm just kidding. I don't have one for you. It's just a simple fact. When you feel good, when your body is operating at a higher capacity and you have higher levels of energy, guess what? Training and sleeping, recovery, growth, all of those things, they just become substantially easier. And one of the best ways for you to make your body your overall health and well-being better is to eat more fruits and vegetables, dude. Eat more fruits and vegetables. In my peak off season right now, arguably isn't even peak off season. This is just kind of the beginning phases of my off season, starting off at about 3,500 calories a day. And as far as we're going to run that for a couple weeks, track weight. We'll talk more about that when we get into my training next week and all that. But within those 3,500 calories is like 450 grams of fruit a day. Okay, 450 grams. Okay, if you're unfamiliar with grams, we're talking about a pound of fruit, just under a pound of fruit, couple ounces, or I believe an ounce or so short of a pound of fruit a day. Okay, split between things like apples and bananas, blueberries, pineapple is great. Super high in bromelain, helps digest protein. A variety. I think I have at least 4 different fruits in my day every single day. Okay, and then vegetables, same thing. In peak off season, I think it's actually is it a little higher? Let me see, I'll do some quick math for you here. We have 100, 100, 100. Yeah, 460 grams. Okay, so even a little bit more, 460 grams of vegetables a day. Okay, so again, like a pound of vegetables, just about. Okay, dude, I'm telling you, when you're making your off-season plan, work with a coach that is willing to put a lot of those, when they're like, all right, we got to bump carbs, we got to bump protein, we got to bump fats. When we're talking about carbs specifically, make sure they are bumping carbs through things like fruits and vegetables as well. Okay, don't just be like, oh, we're eating 200 grams of rice with this meal, we need to eat 350 with this meal now. Okay, that's awesome, that's great. And yeah, your numbers of carbs added are going to skyrocket up. You add 100 grams of rice to 3-4 meals, boom, you just added, probably a couple hundred grams of carbs. Sweet, that's awesome. But make sure that when you're going into that growth phase especially, and even your prep phases, dude, even your prep phases, you need to eat fruits and vegetables. That's crazy to me that people like, that's the first thing I cut. I cut all my fruit and veggies out, and then so I'm just having essentially meat and rice and potatoes. It's like, yeah, great, you're gonna survive, but you're probably gonna feel like crap, man. Like, you need to have those micronutrient dense foods in your diet. So when you're going into a growth phase, make sure those fruits and vegetables are high, man. Make sure they're high. They don't have to be maybe as high as I have them. I'd say that's for maybe a little bit more of an advanced person. Like if you're just getting into like your first bulk, start with the basics. Have your chicken and rice, some broccoli, asparagus, whatever. You know what I mean? I would always recommend tracking it, but you probably don't have to have as much as I consume. That is specialized to my diet. You do not need to follow that exactly. But again, man, have your fruits and vegetables. That's the moral of the story. So let's recap it real quick. We got rice, we got oats, we got cream of rice, we got a variety of different potatoes, and of course an even wider variety of fruits and vegetables. Eat them all. They're great. Find which ones work for you. Eliminate the rest that don't, because there will probably be some people who see this, oh, I have eaten this food. I've eaten the sweet potatoes and they don't digest well. Don't eat them. What? Like, I don't really know what else to say there. Don't eat them then. You have yellow potatoes. They don't work either. Don't have potatoes. You have thousands of other sources of carbs to eat, but those are my 5 that I think are going to rock for 99% of the population on the planet that's trying to grow some muscle and needs some good fuel from those carbohydrates, man. Anyways, that's all I got for you tonight. Tomorrow we will cover fats and which ones. That list will be shorter-ish, probably still around 5. Yeah, we'll cover fats tomorrow. But for today, I am the Natty Teacher, and school is out. I'll see y'all tomorrow.